So Gottschall in the circle, Riley Smith, the first batter she'll face, and we are underway. Rain throughout much of the day here in East Tennessee. It has subsided for now. A wonderful job by the field crew getting everything into tip-top shape for this Friday night showdown. 1 ball and 1 strike on this Kentucky lineup that, well, you saw the home run from Lauren Borzilleri last night. Had a big opener to this series, 3 hits including the long ball. And Smith falls behind a ball and 2 strikes. So Borzilleri back in the 9th spot, but it all starts with Erin Koffel in that 2-hole. She leads so many of Kentucky's all-time offensive categories.
And with the way Borzilleri was able to hit the ball yesterday, I'm surprised with her still sitting in that 9-hole, but she's doing her job, being able to turn over that Kentucky lineup.
McKenna Gibson records the first out of the night as Riley Smith is retired. And Rachel Lawson immediately made the motion to challenge. She is standing just outside of that front. We have a couple good looks.
After further review, the ruling on the field is changed. The runner is safe.
That showed just that. Great work from our team, the replay crew, deciding that it is an infield single for Riley Smith. Rachel Lawson, by the way, now 9 of 15 in SEC challenges. So,
and I love right away, she said, hey, I'm going to challenge this. First batter of the game. You have to remember, this game is so crucial for this entire series. Every moment counts. And remember, you only get 2 per game, so to use it so early, she has to be careful with that second one when she wants to challenge.
So Smith aboard for Erin Koffel with a 1-1 count. Koffel, the senior shortstop, 1 for 3 with an RBI last night in the series opener. Got the scoring started in the 3rd. That is hit high and deep and foul. A long strike for Kentucky's all-time home run leader. Swinging, first K for Peyton Gottschall.
You see Gottschall attacked that zone over and over against Koffel. And she saw that she was even early on that pitch. You can tell earlier on that pitch when she took it foul to the left side, they're just having a little bit of an off speed coming on the outside.
Ball 1 to Vanessa Nesby. Nesby 0 for 3 in the series opener last night. Has ping-ponged around in the order a little bit, has hit in a bunch of different spots, but in the 3 spot for a second consecutive game.
You also have to think about right now, too, with Riley Smith over at first base, just getting that call and that challenge. Now Kentucky can have some momentum. Tennessee historically has struggled earlier in the games. They take a little bit of time to make adjustments when they're up to bat, so you want to be able to get that run across the board as soon as possible.
It's a huge challenge by Rachel Lawson, one that she won, as that is poked to left where Riley West came south for round number 2. Nesby retired as Grace Lorson climbs in the cleanup spot. Peyton Gottschall came on in relief of Carlin Pickens last night through the final 3 innings in the circle. Didn't allow a run, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts for victory number 19 this year for the Tennessee senior. Ball 1 to Lorson. Was 0 for 3 last night in the series opener, the transfer from Indiana. Now in her second season, donning the Kentucky blue and white as she takes a strike. Two. Smith aboard after the leadoff infield single. The 1-2 pitch is strike three call. Peyton Gottschall picks up a couple of strikeouts in the top of the...
We're going to have to keep them off balance in total as a lineup.
It is a Tennessee team that has power from top to bottom. All right-handers. Look at all those R's in the order. Taylor paneled that big 3-run blast last night as the All-American Kiki Malloy takes a strike to even the count at 1-1.
And I love a good lineup with power, 1 through 9. Tennessee is known for the long ball.
Person who's hit more in orange and white than any other player in program history in the box right now. Malloy missed 3 games earlier this season with a right foot injury. You can see a little bit of a brace there on the right foot. Those are the only 3 games in her career that she has missed. It was the Georgia series, a series Tennessee went on to win here at home. And Malloy in the driver's seat. Hitters count early. Full count. A lot of records there, partner, and she's not done yet.
Absolutely not. She is someone who is going to be missed in this Tennessee lineup, and she has so much more to give.
Into center field, Vanessa Nesby. 1 out. Is retired.
And anytime you can get Malloy out to start off this Tennessee lineup is
huge. No kidding. Here is Zeta Pooney. 1 for 2 with a walk last night. A couple of walks. Also drove in a pair. Pooney takes outside ball 1. 6 seniors on this Tennessee team. Home run leader this season for the Lady Vols. Jaden Vickers transferred in from Rutgers. Now in her 2nd season at Kentucky. Last pitched on Sunday against South Carolina in the series finale. And had a little bit of trouble against the Gamecocks. That was a game that Kentucky got shut out in 3-0. And 2 of those 3 Gamecock runs came in the top of the first. Back-to-back home runs off the Wildcat southpaw. Count even, the 2-2. Chase.
And one thing Vickers is going to have to do really well today is limit the free bases. That was a big issue for Kentucky yesterday. Schoonover gave up 5 walks, 2 hit batters, so 7 free bases. You can't do that to a top 5 team in the country.
And right on cue, there is the first free pass. Pooney walks for the 3rd time in the series.
And it's tough, right? Because you have a Tennessee lineup that sees the ball so well, and you really can't leave the ball in any part of the white. But you also can't pitch around them too much that you're giving up free bases all day.
1 on, 1 out. As McKenna Gibson pushes the first pitch to foul.
Cat in the circle as well.
Let the games begin. Gibson 0 for 3 with a walk last night in the series opener.
Even though Vickers did struggle to the last weekend against South Carolina, she has had some big wins. She made her debut for Kentucky.
Foul away.
She made her debut with Stanford, and Kentucky took that win 2-1. So she knows how to play in big moments and loves this type of pressure.
That was opening weekend, part of 2 victories for the Wildcats against the Cardinal. Huge start to the season for Kentucky. Vickers a big part of it. Her 1-2. It's high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still 2-2. Athletic catch off the screen there.
And Gibson right now doing a great job of just fouling off those pitches. She's waiting for hers to come. She's really fouling off those outside right now, so I wonder if she's looking inside.
There goes another. Count still anchored at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Lady Vol Locos in the house, as they always are. Matching t-shirts tonight for many of the crew. As Gibson works the count full. I always wonder how they come up with that. Is there a master spreadsheet? Do they go week by week?
You know, they probably have a nice little group chat.
No doubt about it. Full count here. The payoff pitch. Corked high in the air, deep right center field. Jenna Blanton in front of the warning track. Records out number 2.
That's a pitch that McKenna Gibson just gets jammed up on. She had been seeing pitches on the outside corner continuously from Vickers. But then that pitch comes on the inside corner, and I love this. She's going over to Sophia Nugent right now, just letting her know, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is the kind of spin I'm seeing. And this is the first time they're ever seeing Vickers.
Riley West takes a strike. West, the senior, 1 for 4, hit her 11th home run of the season last night on the first pitch she saw on the 5th. She's in an 0-2 hole. Jaden Vickers trying to labor out of this first inning. 1-out walk issued to Zeta Pooney, which is sandwiched by a couple of fly balls. Still 0-2 on Riley West.
And I like the idea right there by Vickers to get out of the zone. She's ahead in this count. You really can't give Riley West anything good to hit on that white part of the plate.
Up the middle, into center field. Pooney racing for third, and the throw is not in time. West scoots up to second. 2-out runners in scoring position for Tennessee.
And great base running by Pooney there. She didn't even slow down once she rounded second base. And that pitch off the end of the handle. Just got a piece of it, just enough of it to get up the middle. And Kentucky right here can't make these little mistakes. Tobias just looked like she got tangled up with her feet a little bit. but these are the plays that you have to make when you're playing a top team, especially here in the SEC. Both these teams ranked in the top 25. You can't just make the routine plays, but you also have to make the amazing plays, especially going into postseason, and you have the SEC tournament coming up right after this weekend.
Sophia Nugent courts it to deep center. Nesby is there, and the threat is quelled.
All right, that's one. That means she is allowing 1 run in 7 innings. And to have a pitcher like that and play behind that feels so much relief as a player, and you just feel like you can play a lot more free, have a little bit better at bats, play a little bit more calm when you're at the plate.
Faces the 5, 6, and 7 spots in the Kentucky order. Allie Hutchins leads off for the Wildcats, the freshman from Paducah, Kentucky. Off the hands, foul ground. Gibson in pursuit as she runs out of real estate. Hutchins getting her first start since the series opener last week against South Carolina. True freshman hitting .250 this year for the Wildcats. And she's retired. Peyton Gottschall with another backwards K.
And when you're able to get a hitter on a backwards K, strike out looking, you know that pitch had lots of movement, and you can see Gottschall already starting to bring up that energy. You can see that she's using that curveball. It has such late break, and it's going to stay on that lower half of the plate.
Carissa Hamilton fouls away the first offer. So 3 strikeouts early for Peyton Gottschall. And Hamilton tries to end that streak. Looking for her first hit of the weekend. Well, she got hit. Not a hit, but a base runner nonetheless.
Hey, whatever you got to do to get on base, right? And you see Gottschall instantly right after she shrugged her shoulders. She's like, hey, it looks like it just maybe have hit that Evo shield. That's why we have them.
There's a shield for everything now.
Absolutely, and I think there should be.
Yeah.
Because when you get hit in the elbow, let me tell you.
No thanks. That's foul. No balls and a strike on Jenna Blanton. Blanton to the left side. Mealer to second. No turn to first. 2 out of the inning. Laura Mueller, the transfer from MTSU, a surefire glove. Played all over the infield early in the season, then an injury to Bella Faw, who was the starting shortstop, slipped Mueller over there permanently. And Tennessee's defense has not skipped a beat.
And that's something Coach Weekly said has gone unnoticed, she thinks, by everyone, is this Tennessee defense. She says everyone looks at our defense earlier in this season. We had people playing out of position in completely different spots than what they are now. But right now, what they have, this defense has been solid.
1 ball and no strikes. It is Erica Thulin pinch hitting in the box. Thulin, the senior. Ahead 2 balls and no strikes, hitting .214 this season. 3 for 14 at the plate. Hitting here in the 8th spot in the place of Margaret Tobias. With a 2-out base runner, Jenna Blanton. Up the middle, into center field. Job well done for Erica Thulin. 2 on with 2 out.
And so good when you're a pinch hitter. This is a big spot for Coach Lawson to put a pinch hitter in this early in the game. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, what's the reason this early, right? She wants to get on top of Tennessee right now, right here. We're only in the second inning, but if you can jump out on top and put Tennessee down when they haven't got that momentum down, right? Softball is all about momentum and who has the hot bat, hot hand, and the energy. And that's what we saw a lot of last night, a lot of back and forth, and then Tennessee just took that momentum away from Kentucky. So that's what they don't want to have happen here, is they want to get on top first.
Tell you who's got the hot bat, Lauren Borzilleri in the box right now. Clutch, part of that 3-hit night. And she's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes.
And also what I want to remind everyone too is that she's sitting in that 9-hole spot. Usually when you see a hitter go 3 for 3, big home runs, you're like, usually that's your 3-4, middle of the lineup type of gal, right? But she's sitting in that 9-hole, and that's what's so good is she's able to turn over that lineup and get everything restarted with her big hits.
Let's see what she can do here. 2 on, 2 out. Borzilleri to the left, West in pursuit and snares it for the final out of the inning. Peyton Gottschall strands a couple base runners. We of the second. And a scoreless game. Jaden Vickers back to work. A 3-run homer, part of a 2-hit night for Panel. Slicing foul. 1-1. That's Cassie Reesner, new second baseman, into the ball game for Kentucky. Takes over for Margaret Tobias. So an early defensive change for Rachel Lawson and company. Feels like the ball always finds you. We'll see if that happens here for Reesner. As Panel fouls it away. Two and two. Jaden Vickers back to work, a walk and a single, but no run across in the first inning. Panel to Reesner, 1 out.
So you called that one.
Feels like that's always a given, right? I mean, I'm sure it happened to you when you're playing. You come into the game, ball always seems to find you.
Absolutely. It's like right when I'm not quite warmed up, we're just not into this game. My mindset's changing. It's like the ball has to come my way.
Well, that ball don't lie. That's what the kids say. Destiny Rodriguez takes a strike. Rodriguez, 1 for 2 last night. Got hit by a couple pitches. Scored one of those 8 Tennessee runs. That is into left field for a base knock. A 1-out single for Rodriguez.
Vickers doing a nice job of using the corners right now in the circle. Tennessee hasn't really been squaring her up so far. All these hits that they've had, it's either been off the bat or they've gotten jammed, and they're just getting it throughout to the outfield.
Yeah, really no barrels yet for this potent Tennessee offense as Julia Katsoyanopoulos takes ball 1, second year in Knoxville after transferring in from Arizona. Player who Karen Weekly says has a sky-high softball IQ. And has spent a lot of time in the cage with Chris Malveaux refining that offensive approach. Chance here with 1 on and 1 out in the second. Hit hard, base knock. Back-to-back singles, ball is bobbled by Smith. Rodriguez to third, tagged out. The relay from the Wildcats. Lorsung slaps on the tag, 2 down in the inning.
And that was luck for Kentucky right there. Riley Smith, she bobbled that ball out in the outfield. Again, that ball coming off the end of the bat for Cutsionopolis. And then Riley Smith having that bobble. But honestly, the bobble helped her. Destiny Rodriguez having so much aggression on the base path, which is what you see a lot of by Tennessee, but she was able to stick with it, and that's why you never give up on a ball.
Laura Mueller on the first pitch bounces it to Erin Koffel, and just like that, the second inning comes to an end. 2 hits.
Fast.
Yeah, she certainly has the speed. Saw it there, saw it to begin the ball game, and I saw a little bit out of it defensively last inning. Bobbled the ball out in the outfield, but heads-up awareness, able to get it in and cut down Destiny Rodriguez at third.
Well, when you have a slap hitter up to bat and you have to make a play on defense, you have essentially 2.7 seconds to get it down the line. That's how fast Riley Smith is getting to first base.
And a 1-2 count here. Now, you mentioned that leadoff spot for Kentucky. They've experimented with it a little bit this season. Smith had a taste of it during the Florida series, but then really settled in 3 weeks ago against Texas A&M into that spot because she can do that. An immediate spark offensively, an aggressive turnaround first. But that's where she'll stay with a leadoff single, her second hit of the ball game.
And you can see she is smiling ear to ear. She is seeing the ball so well right now. That ball hit exactly to that left side, and that's what you want to do as a slap hitter so you can outrun anything. But Riley West doing a great job just keeping that ball in front of her, because if that ball would have bounced just a little bit one more time to that left side or even just behind her, you know that Riley Smith is taking second or third even.
So she's aboard for Erin Koffel. The heart and soul of this Kentucky offense. Struck out her first time up, one of 3 Ks for Peyton Gottschall. Kentucky doesn't steal a whole lot of bases, but when they do, it's typically Riley Smith. Perfect 11 for 11 over at first, which is the most on this team. We'll see if the Wildcats roll the dice here at all in the third. Koffel, sky high, hooking foul. West will give it a chase. And watch it find the bullpen. Well, when you think Kentucky and Kentucky offense, you think Erin Koffel, program leader in so many offensive marks.
Absolutely, and she does such a great job.
Flies out to left there.
You can see the frustration too from Koffel after that hit. Peyton Gottschall's just been jamming her on that inside corner. You saw the long ball in that at her last at bat, almost a home run but foul, and then that other one where she just took, and there she just got jammed up.
Ball 1 to Vanessa Nesby. Flied out her first trip. Foul ball.
And Tennessee's defense is playing to the slap today. They are all playing in on all these lefty hitters. You can see McKenna Gibson, if she was playing back in her normal spot, she probably would have been able to snag that ball.
Gottschall checks the wristband, or 2-1. Is tipped back 2-2. The Kentucky team that's won 3 of its last 5 SEC series. Coming off of a tough luck series loss at home to South Carolina last weekend, but Rachel Lawson always seems to have the Wildcats in great position come postseason time. As Nesby skies it to left center, Malloy ranging back, and it's Kiki Malloy who makes the catch.
If you look up how to play outfield in the dictionary, Kiki Malloy knows how to do it. She did a great job running after that ball. She had to drop back because she was so shaded. Stay loose. They call her the headbanger.
That's part of that heavy metal walk-up music that she uses. Which she said, when it's playing, she's not really thinking about much, just trying to get in the zone. Which she finds there, 1-1. Racked up about every accolade you could in the MAC while she played at Bowling Green. When she hit the transfer portal, it took Karen Winkley all of 10 minutes to give her a phone call and say, hey, we want you in Knoxville. And when Peyton Gottschall first got here last fall, it wasn't what Tennessee expected. It wasn't immediate production. But you look at these career numbers, and when springtime came around and the lights came on, Gottschall was ready. And it's brought her A game.
And part of the reason she came to Tennessee is because she wanted to be a part of the pitching staff. So she had that, she had Ashley Rogers, she had Carlin Pickens now with her, where she's just able to split those innings rather than just being the workhorse in the circle. And she's improved so much. One of the biggest things that she's really worked on this offseason is her off speed. And I think that's just one of the best pitches that you can have as a pitcher when you're able to throw 2 different speeds, 3 different speeds. It's so hard as a hitter because you are trying to think about timing plus spin. So having 2 different things to think about, it's a lot tougher in that batter's box.
It's been a good fight from Grace Lorsung. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
And right now, we're just waiting for Kentucky to make that adjustment, because right now you are seeing all of these right-handed hitters are taking that ball to the left side. They're fouling it off, taking it way to the left, and then Gottschall just coming up out of the zone or on that outside corner where they're either swinging or missing or just foul tipping off.
What is the adjustment they need to make?
On this, they just need to get their hands out in front. They're turning on everything, polling, and they need to just extend right towards Riley West out in left field.
8th pitch of the at-bat is outside, 2-2.
If I was Kentucky in this situation, I would even maybe think about backing off the plate, maybe taking a step off, realizing she's not really coming on that outside corner unless she gets ahead in the counts. So maybe looking for that inside pitch and waiting for it and then taking it to the left side if I'm turning on everything where I'm taking it foul.
On the 10th pitch of the plate appearance, Grace Lorsung.
It looks like she's getting called back here. Maybe the umpire's saying that for a knee. Leaning in on that knee over the plate.
That was an immediate call from home plate umpire Thomas Meyer. And so, this battle continues. Between Grace Lorsung in the box and Peyton Gottschall in the circle.
Kentucky also could have the game plan that they're coming into this game and they want to stay up on that box and force her to throw inside, foul that off, and wait for something on the outside.
Oh, what a well-earned trip around the bases. Lorsung into center field. Smith goes corner to corner. The ball gets away. And Kentucky has 2 in scoring position.
Lorsung doing a great job here, getting those hands in. You see it's that inside pitch. She's able to keep those hands on the inside corner. One thing she's really done in this offseason is she has worked it.
Tries to strand 2 in the third. Allie Hutchins back in the box. Hutchins goes after the first pitch, down the left field line. Home run! A 3-run blast from the freshman. And the Wildcats scratch first. 3-0 Kentucky.
This is all about having softball IQ, communicating with your teammates. Hutchins coming in to that at-bat. She knew Gottschall was working that inside corner over and over again. And here's Gottschall coming in again. And Hutchins just taking it to that left side. It barely stays fair, but it gets there. A home run's a home run.
5th long ball of the season for Allie Hutchins. And Kentucky takes advantage of its 2 hits in the innings. The Wildcats strike first. As Carissa Hamilton climbs back in. 1-1.
Something we're seeing a little bit different today, though, too, is Gottschall's in that circle and she's working a little bit slower than normal. We always talk about how she doesn't really need the pitch clock because she likes to step in the circle and get going.
Nugent loves the final out of the inning. So the top of the third comes to a close, but not before some damage is to get there again, but find themselves in a 3-0 deficit here, trailing early for a second consecutive night.
Coach Weekly even said it earlier this week. She says, we have the pitching to win a national championship, but what they're missing is their offense. Their offense has been up and down. We saw a lot of home runs yesterday, but today haven't seen any adjustments out of this Tennessee offense. She says one thing that a lot of these players do for her is she feels like they come up and they need to do it in one big swing. And there are a lot of home run hitters on this team. So think about hitting as more of something that is contagious. 1 through 9. All you need is a single after single after single, and eventually it's going to start adding up.
Top of the order here in the third, Kiki Malloy. Down a ball and 2 strikes. It well the other way, deep right. Blanton at the wall makes the catch just in front of it as Malloy is retired for the second time.
And this is what Kentucky wanted to do. They wanted to start out on top, get ahead. Tennessee usually struggles in these first few innings. They usually start putting the bats later together in this game. And that's why Coach Weekly wants a sense of urgency out of this offense. Like, let's score in that first run, or that first inning, that second inning, and start laying it on them early.
Yeah, it took until the 4th inning last night for Tennessee to score. They scored 8 runs over the final 3 innings of the ball game to ultimately cruise to that 5-run victory. But certainly the dormant offense at the front of mind for this Tennessee staff. No swing on the appeal to first, so Zeta Punia had 3 balls and no strikes. Punia walked her first time up.
And something we're seeing a lot out of Tennessee today on the offensive side of the ball is we're seeing a lot of pop flies. We're seeing a lot of balls getting hit off the end of the bat, which usually means they're pulling their head. They're looking out to the field rather than down at the ball. Usually also those pop flies are telling you that they're dipping their back shoulder, which means they want those big home run swings rather than just making contact to that ball.
McKenna Gibson lines the first pitch into center field for a base knock. Two aboard for the Lady Vols. So Gibson picks up her first hit of the ball game.
And that's a pitch on that outside corner. Gibson does a great job here of just extending it, taking it right up the middle. And this is what they need to do. Put those string hits together, put those singles, those doubles together, and eventually they're gonna get runs across the board. And it looks like Allen's coming in to run in at second.
So the tying run quickly comes to the plate. It's Riley West, who grounds the first pitch to second. Margaret Tobias re-entered, gets the force out at second.
And it looked like Koffel may have pulled her foot off the bag when trying to make that double play and that catch.
And Karen Weekly out of the dugout.
There's the turn over to second base. And it does look like she may pull her.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The runner is out.
Just kidding, she always had complete possession of the ball. So it's a force out up the middle. That's the second out of the inning, and that is a huge call. That's the difference between the bases loaded and one out, or being a pitch away from getting out of it.
And essentially right now, Kentucky has a decision to make. Are you worried about Amanda Allen over at third base? Or are you looking to make the double play? And right now you can see middle infielders are both back. And that could give a little hint with Koffel and Tobias playing deep that they're gonna go for the double play.
Sophia Nugent in an 0-1 count. And an 0-2 count. Nugent talking to Chris Malveaux, who huddled up the entire Tennessee team between innings. And was talking offensive approach. So far, the Lady Vols able to create a lot of traffic on the base paths, but not a ton of barreled up balls off Jaden Vickers. Two on, two out, two strikes. Jaden Vickers looking for a third straight scoreless frame. Her 50th pitch of the night. It's fouled away. Ground ball through the left side. Allen in to score an RBI single for Sophia Nugent. Tennessee on the board.
And I gotta say, that's a mistake pitch by Vickers there. This pitch on the inside corner, you can see Sophia Nugent kept her hands inside so close to her body to be able to muscle it up and get it through that left side. That just shows you how much power Nugent has in her swing. Just being able to make contact, keep those hands.
Still two on, two out for Taylor Panel. Panel up the middle. Tobias can't handle it. Here comes West. It's a one-run game.
This is the type of hitting Coach Weekly loves out of Tennessee, is they do so well once someone comes up clutch and gets that big hit. They have such contagious hitting. It's like one right after the other. Panel again, outside pitch, doesn't even get all of it. Tobias really struggling over at second base, trying to handle those balls and make some plays. A couple errors over there.
So Tennessee strings together a couple of runs here in the third to make it a one-run game. Destiny Rodriguez pops it up into shallow right where Blanton makes the call and the catch. A lot of action, 5 runs across in total.
Going to have a heavy ball. When I talk about a heavy ball, I'm talking about one that just drops off the table, has just that last second movement. And we talked about how Gottschall pounds the zone. Pickens, on the other hand, is going to throw a lot of pitchers' pitches, which means balls that are just going to fall right out of the zone.
So Peyton Gottschall's night is over after 3 innings in the circle. Gave up 3 runs on 5 Kentucky hits. No walks and 3 strikeouts as she hands the ball to Carlin Pickens, who, as you mentioned, Faith, got the start in the series opener last night. 4+ for Pickens. She faced 2 batters to begin the 5th before Gottschall came on in relief. 3 runs across on 5 hits, walked 1, and 4 strikeouts. Pickens, the reigning SEC Pitcher of the Week.
And these two, this 1-2 punch, arguably the best duo in D1 softball right now.
Strike 2 on Jenna Blanton.
Coach Weekly even describes both of them as this team just being very blessed to have those two in the circle right now, because they're both so competitive. They both want the ball, but they're also not selfish. That's tough to do when you're a pitcher. You always want the ball in your hand, right, when you're in the circle. So to allow your teammate to come in and relieve for you and still have that teammate mentality is huge.
Fights it off. Karen Winkley said it's that perfect blend of disappointment but not disgruntled when they're not in. Both Pickens and Gottschall always want the ball. They're always ready. Strikeout number 1, 73 off the right arm to retire Blanton. Margaret Tobias gets her first crack of the night. She was pinch hit for the first time the 8 spot came around, now getting into the box. The slapping lefty looking for her first hit of the series. Ouch.
You could tell that one hurt a little bit. That pitch just getting away from Pickens. Comes in, actually hits her forearm. And you tell that one's gonna sting.
Yeah, there will definitely be a bruise on that back arm by tomorrow morning, but Tobias is aboard, a 1-out base runner for Kentucky. The Wildcats will bring on a pinch runner. Train rolling through town here tonight at Cherry Parker Lee Stadium. No passengers on that one.
And I always wonder if that's why they put up the panels in the back.
It's the first year with them. Cameron Luckadoo, the pinch runner at first. As Lauren Borzilleri takes ball 1. Borzilleri 0 for 1, flied out her first time up. 1-1.
The adjustments Kentucky needs to make when facing Pickens compared to Gotchel is Pickens is not going to throw as many strikes as Gotchel. Gotchel loves to pound the zone. You can be aggressive, get after pitches right away, but you need to allow Pickens to come to you.
Up the middle, Rodriguez lays out, makes the play, the turn to first, not in time. A sensational stop up the middle by Destiny Rodriguez to pick up the force out, 2 down.
And you could tell that entire infield thought that was a double play. Super close. Kiki Malloy had to run all the way from center field and cover second base because she's like, hey guys, she's still safe at first. But what a play by Destiny Rodriguez. A diving play and then a flip over to second base. Laura Mueller doing that quick throw, and if that was on replay.
Yeah, they're going to take another look.
She was out.
After further review, the ruling on the field has changed. The runner's out.
What a way to end the inning. Destiny 3 between Tennessee and Kentucky this weekend. Got the series started last night, an 8-3 victory for the Lady Vols, but right now it's the Wildcats in front by a run. As we head to the home fourth, Julia Katsoyanopoulos leads it off for Tennessee. 8-9-1 due up with Jaden Vickers back to work for Kentucky. Two balls and 1 strike. Oh, Margaret Tobias got hit by a Carlin Pickens pitch at the plate last inning and immediately has the ice out. Tobias was at second base, and now Cameron Luckadoo comes into the ball game and is at second.
We also got to remember Carlin Pickens is arguably the fastest throwing pitcher in Division I. So to be able to get hit by a pitch by her, that's a warrior room for sure.
2-2. It's fought off foul. Katsoyanopoulos singled her first time up. Try it again. The 2-2 pitch. Hit well. Koffel can't snag it. It's into left center field. Katsoyanopoulos will hang out at first with a lead-off single.
You can see the energy shift from Tennessee right now. Julia Katsoyanopoulos coming in, getting that big hit after having with Destiny Rodriguez in that past inning with that big play. You can see Tennessee is playing a lot more loose, high energy, and that's when they play better. I was even thinking earlier in this game, I was like, there's no energy from either of these teams right now. They're very tense, focused, and no one looks like they're having fun, but you can see out of Tennessee as we look into the dugout, you don't see it as much right now, but you did see them jumping up and down, fist pumping, hugging, and that's the kind of Tennessee team we like to see out on the field.
And Tennessee has gone to the bench. Jamison Brockenbrough on to pinch hit, and she takes ball 1. Brockenbrough, the sophomore from Georgia. A .667 hitter, limited appearances. She's 2 for 3. Well, one of those 2 left the yard. Her first home run in the midweek last week against Belmont. And being trusted in a big spot here in the fourth as the go-ahead run at the plate. Jaden Vickers searching for her first strikeout of the night. Won't find it there. battled well in the circle. And here comes her 65th pitch. Full count. Kiki Malloy, the top of the order, looming on deck. The payoff is ball 4. Brockenbrough off the bench, works her way aboard. 2 on, nobody out for Tennessee. Laura Mueller re-enters to run at first. Consuenopolis at second, nobody out for Kiki Malloy, who goes after the first pitch. Deep center field, it is gone! Who else? What else? Kiki Malloy puts Tennessee in front.
Doing what she does best, and that is hit the long ball. First pitch of the at-bat, that pitch is high up in the zone, and she just keeps her hands high and lets it continue. What a way to make a statement by Tennessee. The energy is all on their side right now.
11th home run of the season for Kiki Malloy. She puts the Lady Vols in front by a couple. Sherry Parker Lee Stadium is rocking, and Kentucky will make a change in the circle. The night finish for Jaden Vickers, the Wildcats ace. Stephanie Schoonover into the ball game, which is brand new after the Malloy homer. Over the last 5 years in Knoxville, the Tennessee faithful have seen a whole lot of these Kiki Malloy home runs, and her latest has given the Lady Vols the lead for the first time tonight. With a win tonight, Tennessee clinches a SEC regular season title for the second consecutive season, which would be the first time in this illustrious program history. And with that home run, Kiki Malloy adds a new notch to her belt. Most total bases in Tennessee program history, passing Megan Gregg.
And there's so much season left for this Tennessee team. I'm sure this is a team we're probably going to see in Oklahoma City.
Sainapuni just walked for the 3rd time tonight. Thought Stephanie Schoonover might come in, but it's actually the freshman Sydney Langdon who
Being a miss it, or it's just going to carry up over the fence.
Still no outs in this 4th inning. McKenna Gibson takes a strike. As Langdon twirls in strike 2. Sydney Langdon, the freshman out of Perry, Georgia, taking over for the 5th-year Jaden Vickers. Still on the front step, cheering on her teammates. Langdon trying to settle things. Her 0-2 through the right side. That's a base knock. 2nd of the night for McKenna Gibson, and the offense keeps on rolling here in the home 4th. Hey, Bella Faw coming into the game for Tennessee. Bella Faw has been out for a couple months since the start of SEC play. Injured her foot, fractured it in practice after the Missouri series, and now comes into the contest for the first time.
And she's someone that's missed over at shortstop. And we asked Coach Weekly, hey, is Bella Faw almost in that lineup? She said she's almost there, but she must be ready. We saw her warming up in the beginning of this game. She looked like she was moving well, didn't have the boot on anymore, and now she's coming in as a pinch runner. And she really started to come in to herself during the Missouri series. That was the first SEC series for Tennessee. She had 2 home runs. She had been struggling with the bat, but starting to find her stride.
Well, first time she's playing since March 17th, that Missouri series. It was a fractured foot. She was in a boot for a while. Quickly started PT, boot is off, and Faw is back in the ball game. 2 on.
They come in bunches for Tennessee.
Big strikeout there for Langdon in the circle. The first strikeout by the Wildcats pitching staff tonight. There's 1 out in the 4th. Here is the aforementioned Sophia Nugent. Nugent already with an RBI tonight. Oh, the 1-0 from Langdon. Nugent skips out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes. Green light count. 3-0.
Langdon struggled last weekend in the circle against South Carolina, but a couple weeks ago, she was freshman pitcher of the week for the SEC, and that was with her win over Auburn to claim the series win. So she's had some good outings in these past few weeks.
That is the second free pass she's issued since entering, and the bases are loaded. Langdon certainly someone that this Kentucky coaching staff is high on. She had an outstanding debut at the start of the season. A complete game in her first start with 10 strikeouts, 15 strikeouts in her home debut, and she'll need some of that magic here. The bases are juiced, 1 out in the 4th, and 1 strike on Taylor Panel.
Going to have a lot of late movement, but she's also someone that's going to be the future of this Kentucky program. You have Schoonover, who has thrown majority of the innings, but Langdon's next up.
Big spot here. Back against the wall, trying to avoid any further damage by this Tennessee offense, which has taken the lead for the first time tonight. No balls and 2 strikes as Langdon delivers. Panel, the exclamation mark, 3-run homer last night. 3 more opportunities on the base paths here. The 0-2. No chase, 1-2. Feels like nothing is coming easy for this Kentucky pitching staff at the moment. "20 pitches into the outing. Sydney Langdon in search of out number 2. three, swinging. Huge strikeout for Sydney Langdon.
And that was such a great pitch by Langdon there. It was actually her rise ball, but she kept it in the zone, and it had such late break. Look at this. Starting right at the letters and just quietly goes right up out of the zone. And Panel, she was even late on that pitch.
Destiny Rodriguez takes a strike. Rodriguez, the 9th batter of the inning for Tennessee. One and one. Talk about a game of momentum. Got to think it out here. Let's swing a bit of that back towards the Wildcats. 1-2.
The thing about Langdon, when she's pitching, when she gets one strikeout, she's probably going to get two. She's probably going to get three. Her strikeouts come in bunches.
Trying to strand the bases loaded. Two balls and two strikes. Full count. Ball gets away. No movement from Pooney. And here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With the bases loaded and 2 out. Rodriguez stays alive. The payoff. Ball 4. Rodriguez earns an RBI. Tennessee has a 3-run lead.
Such a great at-bat by Destiny Rodriguez. She kept fouling off pitches, fouling off those high pitches. And Langdon already 29 pitches in. This Tennessee offense has reversed the counts. And the more you can do that, the more you can see every type of pitch she has. Look for the pitch exactly that you want.
All the bases remain loaded here for Julia Katsoyanopoulos, who already has a couple hits here tonight. And she's the one who started it all. Here, the Tennessee 4th. Led it off with a single, came in to score on the Malloy homer. Oh, 1 to her. Whip shot, Luckadoo gloves it, and the side finally to channel some of that winning momentum here, partner. They trail by 3 after Tennessee puts up a 4 spot in the 4th. Top of the order, as Riley Smith sheds a little bit of outerwear against Carlin Pickens.
At first I thought that was another broken bat.
Now that would have been crazy. which if you did not see last night in the series opener, Margaret Tobias split the medal into two. Smith 2 for 2 tonight in the leadoff spot. In an 0-2 hole.
But Coach Lawson has turned around this Kentucky program so well. And she even got named to the U.S. Softball Women's National Team coaching staff back on April 1st. So she's going to get a chance to travel with them, and she's actually never left the country before. So I'm excited to also see her on the national stage.
And gets to go to Japan with the elite team later this season. Excited to get the stamp there on the passport. Rachel Lawson, one of the great softball minds in the nation. Smith retired for the first time tonight. Pickens with her second strikeout.
And setting it up so well, Pickens with all the speed that she has, that inside corner, again, not technically a strike, but so hard to lay off of when you face Pickens because she has such a heavy ball that it's just going to drop off the table.
And that's been the money pitch this year for Carlin Pickens, that changeup. As Koffel takes one for a strike. Sky high, headed out of play, and it's a souvenir. Koffel 0 for 2 tonight. Kentucky led this game 3-0, but Tennessee has scored 6 unanswered. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carlin Pickens.
Koffel, someone who does not strike out very often, and that's a backwards K, her second strikeout of the night. You can see her frustration every time she goes into the dugout, but Pickens lining it up right on that outside corner, and Koffel doesn't even know what to do with it.
Ball 1 to Vanessa Nesby. Carlin Pickens, the powerful sophomore for Tennessee, on in relief. This is her second inning, and she, so far, has faced the minimum. 1-1. Couple of flyouts tonight for Nesby. Appeal did not go around. 2 balls and a strike. One thing Rachel Lawson said about facing Carlin Pickens is, first things first, you just have to be used to seeing mid-70s coming at you.
And that's something that is very hard to prep for as well, because you don't have a pitcher on your staff that's throwing that hard. So you're going to have to crank up the pitching machine. You're going to have to maybe move up the plate to that pitching machine and just be able to react fast.
Bag's empty, 2 down. Carlin Pickens trying to strike out the side. Another great crowd on hand here tonight. Over 2,000 in attendance for game 1. Despite the crummy weather to begin the day, the skies have cleared and the stands are packed again as Nesby works the count full. One bounce to Mueller, and the side is retired. Perfect 5th in the circle for Carlin Pickens. And she settles things for Tennessee.
Like LSU who has such great bats. And essentially, if a pitcher can hold a team to 0 or 1 run, you're more than likely going to win that game.
One ball and one strike on Kiki Malloy at the top of the order. 1 for 3. The one, though, was a big one. 3-run homer that put Tennessee in front for the first time. There's Peyton Gottschall cheering the end of the dugout as Malloy sends one to left for Riley Smith. 1 out. Mueller at first for Zeta Pooney, who waits the offer from Sydney Langdon. How about this night at the plate for Zeta Pooney? She's been aboard all 3 times, scored a couple of runs. On the ground, Lorsung to second, the turn to first, it's an around the horn double play. 13th as SEC regular season champion for the first time in program history. All that it comes down to was if it's an outright title for the team or whether that will be a co-regular season title. Depends on what happens down in Gainesville this weekend between Texas A&M and Florida. That game is underway right now. The Aggies with the 1-run lead in the 3rd inning. The 6th begins with a ground out. Grace Lorsung retired. Third inning in relief for Carlin Pickens. She has faced the minimum as Allie Hutchins lines the first pitch foul. Here's Hutchins with a towering home run down the left field line. Her last time up, that put Kentucky on the board and gave the Cats a 3-0 lead.
And this Tennessee team has every weapon that you can think of. They have every asset to win the SEC, win the championship next week. Coach Weekly said they're not really focusing on winning the regular season, but it's on their minds because obviously how can't it be? But just working on leaning on each other, really a team, and that's something that's super special about this Tennessee team is when you look in that dugout or you look at them while they're out on that field, you can see that they're happy for each other. That's not something you see all the time when teams are playing together.
Certainly unavoidable to think about winning that regular season title again, but Karen Weekly said it can't be the priority. Another strikeout for Carlin Pickens. That is her 4th in relief.
And pitch by Pickens. That inside corner, staying low in the zone, and that's what she's been doing this entire game, is staying low in the zone, using her off-speed quite a bit, using it a little bit more, I think, than normal during this game as she comes up in the zone. But Kentucky right now really looking down and out over in the dugout. You don't see any energy on their side. And they just made a big double play. This is where they need that energy. This is where it should be starting to come up.
2 balls and no strikes on Carissa Hamilton. Trying to provide a 6th inning spark. Rodriguez to her right. Another 1-2-3 inning in the circle for Carlin Pickens. She has faced.
Is hitting that long ball.
McKenna Gibson on the first pitch of the sixth flies out to center field, one away. It was that Malloy 3-run homer that put Tennessee in front. They added an extra insurance run after that. And Kentucky's offense is hitless since the third. After jumping out to the lead for the second consecutive night.
Once Tennessee got that momentum, there's been no looking back.
One ball and one strike on Riley West. And it's a Tennessee team, Faith, that was struggling a little bit offensively coming into this weekend. But they have found a charge in the bats reminiscent of the early SEC slate.
And Coach Weekly mainly hadn't just been happy with how they weren't making adjustments. So it's not always about coming up and maybe you're striking out your first at bat, getting a pop fly your second at bat, but making those adjustments so you can get that base hit and communicating with your team. What are you seeing every time you face that pitcher?
Still 1-2 on Riley West. West a base knock back in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the third. And struck out her last time up. Doesn't chase there, 2-2. And the break-even offer, run the count full. Sydney Langdon, the freshman, back to work, came on in relief in the fourth. And in search of her third strikeout. Payoff pitch is ball four. The eighth free pass issued to this Tennessee offense tonight. 7 walks and a hit by pitch.
And the free bases is what is killing Kentucky right now. You need to make Tennessee work for it.
That skips away from Hamilton. Free 60 for Riley West, who's in scoring position.
And you said it, this Tennessee offense has been a little bit quieter as of late, but really starting to put it together here during this Kentucky series. Sometimes when you have such a great pitching staff, sometimes you get too relaxed on offense, where you're like, hey, my pitcher, she'll shut it down. She's not going to give up 5 runs. We don't need to score 6. And they know that Pickens and Gottschall is going to shut it down in the circle. And if you think about it, during the LSU series, they only gave up 1 hit, 1 run the entire series. Alabama series and LSU, only 1 run, but yet they didn't sweep those 2 teams. They lost 1-0. And that says a lot about your offense if you're not even able to get 1 run across the board and get that sweep to these top level teams. That's what's going to take you to the next level in this postseason coming in and when you go into the Women's College World Series and so forth.
Perhaps this is the weekend that restarts some of that offensive consistency. Soft fly ball and caught. Riley Smith showing off the speed. Covers a lot of ground out there in left field. Had a highlight reel catch at the foul pole last night. Came crashing in here for the second out of the 6th.
Riley Smith, she's respecting Sophia Nugent with her power. She's playing deep in the outfield, but she has such quick feet, she knows she can cover anything. And she's a human highlight reel out there in left field.
Gives it a chase there, but no look as it rattles into row 12. Strike one to Taylor Panel. Left field and deep. No getting that one. Home runs in back-to-back nights for Taylor Panel, who pads the Tennessee lead.
Panel loves just coming up in these big moments. She loves to hit that long ball when she's got runners in scoring position. And frankly, from Langdon here, that pitch was right down the pipe, right down the middle. And Panel, all she had to do was square up with it on that timing, and it was going to go.
Went deep to right last night, pull side pop tonight. And Taylor Panel having herself quite the weekend. The sophomore with her 6th home run of the year. And now a 5-run cushion for the number 3 team in the country. Has been the story for this Kentucky staff. The long balls, solo shots won't kill you as a pitcher, but those free passes coming back to bite Kentucky. Last night, it was 2 walks that put the runners on for Panels, 3-run shot. Tonight, a walk and then a 2-run home.
Absolutely, and that's what it's going to do to you. If you let those free passes happen, it's going to allow for some chance. And you know, as a pitcher too, when you're walking hitters after hitters or you're hitting batters, then you have to start throwing the ball down the middle like she just did to Panel, and that's what's going to happen to you, especially a Tennessee team who loves to hit home runs. They're 2nd in the SEC for home runs right now.
One and one to Destiny Rodriguez. Langdon trying to hunker down and get out of the 6th. 1-1. Into right field. Blanton towards the line. Final out of the inning. 3 Tennessee lead. Last licks coming up for the Wildcats. Carlin Pickens back to work. And Kentucky sends a pinch hitter to the plate. Peyton Plotz, the freshman. Pickens has faced the minimum here tonight. Only batter to reach was a hit by pitch, but then a 4-6-3 double play quickly erased all the action. And Pickens has retired everyone since. 1-2 on Plotz. Plotz, a .302 hitter off the bench, getting into her 45th game of the season. A freshman from Lexington, playing for her hometown school. Four strikeouts tonight for Carlin Pickens. Her 2-2 pitch is tapped weakly back in front of the circle. Pickens lasers to first. 1 out.
You always love a pitcher that can make some defensive plays. They call pitchers sometimes the princess in the circle. But Pickens even beating out Nugent from behind the plate to make that play, and such a strong throw over to first base. I love to see a pitcher make some defensive plays. I love it.
Cameron Luckadoo skies the first pitch to center field. Malloy there, 2 out. Fans on their feet. Lauren Borzilleri has had the hot bat for the Wildcats this weekend. And Borzilleri trying to keep the Wildcats alive here tonight. Oh, and 2. No chase, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Riley Smith with 2 hits, waits in the on-deck circle should she get an opportunity. Still 2-2. Pickens looking for strikeout number 5 in relief.
You can tell Borzilleri is not going to go down without a fight. She's been seeing the ball well all weekend, even off of Pickens.
And she's worked the count full. Outstanding grit. Borzilleri not biting at the plate. And the count is full. The SEC runs through Rocky Top. Tennessee wins the SEC.
like LSU, who has such great bats. And essentially, if a pitcher can hold a team to 0 or 1 run, you're more than likely going to win that game.
One ball and one strike on Kiki Malloy at the top of the order. 1 for 3. The one, though, was a big one. 3-run homer that put Tennessee in front for the first time. There's Peyton Gottschall cheering the end of the dugout as Malloy sends one to left for Riley Smith. 1 out. Mueller at first for Zeta Pooney, who waits the offer from Sydney Langdon. How about this night at the plate for Zeta Pooney? She's been aboard all 3 times, scored a couple of runs. On the ground, Lorsung to second, the turn to first, it's an around the horn double play. 13th